Today we are talking about Stalker the board game. We will be touching on the following subjects. What is this game about? The content of the base game and its expansions, the price of the available pledges and our opinion of the price, our general impressions and the adaptation of the board game compared with the computer game, and if you like this game, do you need to back this campaign or is there already something waiting for you in your local gaming store? So, let's go! So, starting with the first question. What is this game about? Well, the game is made for 1 to 4 players and it's an adventure story-based dungeon crawler from Awaken Realms. Story-based? Yes. It's a campaign with a twist. The campaigns are short, about 10 to 12 hours in total. The campaign is made up of 3 missions. They say a mission will cost you 2 to 4 hours. There are also multiple endings in each campaign according to the decisions you've made. At the moment of writing the script, I am not 100% sure, but it looks like part of the game is legacy based. I see sticker sheets and those stickers need to be placed on a map. So I believe you can only play the game once. If not, I will pin a comment beneath this video. There is, however, a mode that lets you play adventures without a campaign, but we will be touching on that later. So, Stalker stands for scavengers, trespassers, adventurers, loners, killers, explorers and robbers. This gives us a clue on what to expect in this game. Stalker is set in a post-apocalyptic zone of Chernobyl. The game plunges players into a dangerous and treacherous landscape filled with anomalies, mutants and competing factions. In Stalker, players take on the roles of stalkers, brave or merciless treasure hunters depending on who you ask, who venture into the irradiated and unpredictable zone in search of valuable artifacts to sell. The primary goal is different in each campaign/mission, but you will almost certainly be asked to gather artifacts while balancing survival with the constant threat and rivalries within the zone. The game features a modular board representing different areas of the zone, each with its own unique dangers and rewards. Players navigate through the board, managing resources, combating mutants and encountering other stalkers and factions. They must make strategic decisions regarding exploration, combat and resource management to maximize their chances of success. The gameplay mechanics of Stalker involve dice rolling, card management and tactical decision making. When starting the game, players kit out their Stalker. They take out a person they will be playing with, take a weapon, some kind of armor and 5 items of inventory. Each Stalker has a character specific item. Players can use 2 short actions and a long action. The long action can also be used as a short action, but not the other way around. So as I said before, the board is modular. You should see this in the way either fields is played. Cards are placed on the map. The cards look exactly like the place on the map, but they harbor information under that card that you need to unlock, either by interaction or in some other form. One of the main mechanics in this game might be sound. Moving makes sound and shooting makes sound too. Sound is connected to the space you make the noise in. It doesn't follow your character around. Enemies hear sounds, but they can shrug it off as noise made by the usual surroundings. Once a space has enough sound, an enemy might check what is actually going on over there. Whether or not this happens is determined by the range the enemy has. If he has a range of 3 and the noise is made in a space 1, 2 or 3 spaces away from him with an equal amount of noise, then he runs over to check what is going on. There are 2 different kinds of noise markers, the orange with a value of 1 and the red with a value of 2. Noise disappears after a round, well, sort of. Orange noise markers go away even if you have 3 in the same location. But it is not the case with the red ones. Only 1 red marker goes away per turn per area. Some enemies might also have overwatch. This means they stand guard and look in 3 of the 4 compass directions. they never watch what is going on behind their backs. So coming from behind their back is a genuine strategy. Once a player rests in one of the 3 overwatch positions the enemy has a look over, the enemy takes a shot at them. When passing through a zone an enemy has overwatch over, this creates noise. So you will place a red noise marker on the zone he spotted you on. So on to the second question. The content of the base game and its expansions. Well, the core box comes with 4 Stalkers and their dual layered player boards. More than 550 cards in different sizes, 9 scenario boxes, 3 campaign books, 8 dividers, 12 sleeve pages, 3 campaign maps and 2 sticker sheets, some dice and more than 150 tokens and somewhat more. This is a typical Awaken Realms campaign. Cards, 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 some cardboard, some minis and some other components. I don't know if the game will be available in retail, but when you back Stalker on Gamefound, you will also get survival mode. This mode is available for 1 to 4 players and it says it is not connected to other campaigns. At this moment, it looks like to be some sort of single scenario game type. Looking at you, Zombicide. There is the Bandit and Mutant miniature pack. It consists of minis in the form of bandits, mutants and anomalies. Here you are able to upgrade your gaming experience for a price. The miniatures look good. In my opinion, miniatures of Awaken Realms look good 90% of the time. But I know some people might disagree. The price of this expansion, I'll put it here on the screen. So the third question, the price of the available pledges and our opinion of the price. Well, at this point there is only 1 pledge available, but during the campaign others will be introduced. The price of the base game is a bit of a two-edged sword for me. On the one hand, I believe the game itself is pretty expensive. Remember, 3 campaigns, 10 to 12 hours and you're done. Compare that to other games like Tainted Grail, ISIS Vanguard or Etherfields, and $95 gives you a short run for your money. On the other edge of the sword, I know that during the campaign we will unlock plenty of extra fluff. Though you will not get this when the base game arrives if you have chosen 2-part delivery. If you haven't, you'll have to wait even longer. But you will get everything at once. There is also the zone survival mode that drastically improves the replayability in my opinion. In my opinion, if you ever bring Stalker to retail, you can't sell it without zone survival mode or decrease the price to $60. So the fourth question was our general impression and the adaptation of the board game compared to the computer game. Having played the game, I can see a lot of crossovers. One thing Awaken Realms is usually pretty good at is capturing the vibe of something. The board game really breathes Stalker in my opinion. Having played the game, I can see a lot of crossovers. One thing Awaken Realms is usually pretty good at is capturing the vibe of something. Stalker the board game is no exception in my opinion. This game breathes Stalker. There are the enemies, the radiation, the loot and the setting of course. One thing that might not be up to par is the use of dice. I think they might be too random for a game like Stalker. The combat works with stars instead of numbers. So if you meet certain requirements, you can get extra stars even before attacking. This might help mitigate some of the randomness with dice rolls. So Stalker the computer game was in my memory not very easy. I remember myself struggling to complete certain parts of the game. The board game might even be somewhat more difficult. Combat can be intense. Your enemies are good shots, and the situation you thought was in your advantage can turn quickly. This has been really well done. It does come at a cost in my opinion. The management of noise is a big part of the game. I can see when you're playing with a bigger group, you might forget to place noise markers from time to time. The movement of the enemies is somewhat mediocre. They tend to follow noise, and if they bump into a wall, a dice roll will determine which direction they will face next. From what I've seen, this game should not be played with players who tend to suffer from analysis paralysis. When moving or attacking, there is a lot to take into consideration. Now I realize that these last comments were pretty negative. I think the game has a lot of potential. At this stage, however, I think they are not there yet for me. I believe that Stalker is a very good IP. I think that some of the game mechanics are very good. But I also believe that according to my negative responses in the past comments, I believe that there's still a lot of work that should be done to make this game more playable. I really believe that noise is such a big factor that it'll turn out to be a big pucker factor. And that is a shame with a game with this great IP. So I won't be backing this game. And it has nothing to do with the state the game is in right now. No, I could actually overlook some of my own critiques at this point. I know Awaken Realms always delivers at the end of the day. But we are buried in campaign games. So that is the main issue why we are not backing Stalker the board game. So our last question, if you like this game, do you need to back this campaign, or is there already waiting something for you in your local gaming store? Well, let's have a quick look. We've got Fallout the board game. This game is based on the post-apocalyptic video game series called Fallout. It shares similarities with Stalker in the term of the theme and setting, as players explore the wasteland, scavenge for resources, and encounter dangerous creatures and interact with various factions. Now I have to add that Fallout has not received much high praise. So the second option is Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter is a cooperative board game set in a zombie apocalypse. It focuses on survival, resource management, and making difficult choices. Like Stalker, it involves exploring dangerous locations, managing threats, and dealing with other players' hidden agendas. Dead of Winter is easy to pick up and it's generally very fun. So our third option would be Nemesis. Nemesis is a thematic, semi-cooperative board game set on a spaceship infested with alien creatures. It captures the tension and survival aspect found in Stalker, where players need to navigate the ship, complete objectives, and fend off deadly aliens while dealing with their own secret objectives. One of my favorite games, and also fun Awaken Realms. Though at this point I might tell you to get Nemesis locked down. We haven't played it too much, so you might want some extra opinions before you run over to your local gaming store. Well, you've made it to the end. Thank you for sticking with us. Please leave a like, comment, or consider subscribing. It's free, you know. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.